morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday, June 30th, and it's time for What's in the Box. I'll be your host, Mike Ritter from Bearded Comics and Collectibles. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful day. Summer is here, in case you didn't wake up and notice that this morning, which means that on a day like today with a heat index of upwards of 110 degrees, it's time for some indoor sports, possibly some water sports. I, however, recommend reading in the air conditioning, maybe in front of a giant turbine fan, as long as it's not bending the pages on your books. And if you choose that option, I got you. I got you taken care of. In case you didn't see our post this morning, all this week, in celebration of July 4th, which is this Saturday, we'll be doing a 25% off back issues, not including slabs and keys, and 25% off of trade paperbacks. So that way you can stock up and get your Invincible, maybe, if that's something that you're looking into reading. Maybe you want to grab the Absolute Martian Manhunter or Green Lantern or Absolute Wonder Woman and catch up on those while the heat is miserable. And then in case, I got you. 25% off for the 250th anniversary of the red, white, and blue United States, which may or may not be united for very much longer. Anyway, I digress. It's going to be a wonderful week. Hopefully everybody has a wonderful weekend planned. Things that are coming up. July 11th is going to be the Monument Circle Expo, or Monument Comic Expo, if you will. July 11th at the Indiana State Fairgrounds from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And our special guest, John Tyler Christopher, known for his negative space variants and action figure variants. He will be there signing and doodling. So if you enjoy his work and want to meet him, get something signed, I highly encourage it. I will be one of those people. So, not saying, just saying. And then this last weekend was our event at Knights Hall. Thank you for everybody that showed up. That was a great Knights Hall. Talked to a lot of people about Indiana Comic Con and kind of the general disgruntledness of Comic Con. And I feel like everybody was coming to our show to get their comic itches scratched, or their comic scratches itched, because we had a lot of people. It was a big turnout. A lot of people I spoke to did very well, and that makes the world go round. That made everybody happy. So wouldn't have been able to do it without you. So thank you very much for being there. While I was there, I got some handouts for a Dayton, Ohio show, Gem City Comic Convention. This is their 20th year, it says, our 20th year of Gem City. Thousands of customers every year, 35 comic dealers from 10 different states, hundreds of boxes of comics, if not maybe 1,000 or so. 2 days to dig through all the boxes, $10 for a weekend pass, kids 12 and under are free parking. They have no media guests. It is all entirely focused on comic books and finding those comic books. One great location with everything you need for days of celebrated comics. Was I paid to say that? No. It was just on the back of the flyer, and I read it for you. But anyway, Gem City Comic Con. I know this guy. I know these guys. It's a good show. I know a lot of the vendors are going to be there. I am considering going. It would be my first Gem City. Dayton is about 2.5, almost 3 hours away from here, so it's a bit of a journey, but I go to Cincinnati. There's nothing different there, right? Just a little bit down instead of a little bit over. So anyway, this is going to be July 18th and 19th, which is the weekend after the Monument Expo. So if you didn't have anything on your calendar, for these weekends. Now you have something on your calendar for these weekends. And guess what? It's back-to-back weekends. So it's a lot of comic booking and stuff and things. As for today, for me, myself, I hinted last week that I had a nice juicy box of Silver Age, specifically Marvel Silver Age, and I will not disappoint. That is what is going to be on today's docket. I have a long box here. What I did for last weekend at Knights Hall, I went through my long boxes, my back issues, and I just grabbed tons of handfuls of Silver Age. I didn't even get all my Silver Age stuff, but I did get a bunch of it. So some of the stuff I already had, doesn't matter. Silver Age is always awesome to look at. So I'm not going to show everything that's in this box, but I'm going to show a very good chunk of it here. Just to kind of get your whistles wetted and mouths frothing for old-timey funny books. So we're going to start first, Marvel Collector's item number 7, and then this is number 10. So these are actually kind of hard to find, especially in high grade. So that series actually did transition into Marvel's Greatest Comics, just so you know. And that series went on for a long time, largely focused on Fantastic Four reprints. These early ones reprinted all your grails, all your classics. So I think issue number 1 is AF-15, Avengers 1, maybe Tales of Suspense 39, something along those lines. And then issue 2 was X-Men number 1, Spider-Man number 1, and then a couple other books. So that's how it started. If you ever find the number 1 of this, like I said, it has the first reprint of AF-15 in it. So that can be almost considered a second print to some degree. It is a pricey book if you find it in high grade. It is a very hard book to find because it is the poor man's AF-15. Because a lot of us, let's face it, are never going to own, let alone ever see an AF-15 in person. So it's a nice option to have. Now, we're going to transition into Fantastic Four. The collection that I got had a lot of Fantastic Four, so I'm just going to kind of flip through these. That was starting with number 92 there. I had some early issues, but I sold them at Knights Hall because, yeah, go where your guys are, right? It would be silly, and I would be remiss if I didn't take stuff that I thought I could sell, right? That's the whole point of the game. So you tell me what you want, I do my best to find it and or retrieve it, and then I contact you if I ever find it and or retrieve it, and, you know, sell it to you. And then your collection gets that much better and that much fuller. Not Todd Fuller, or was Fuller from Home Alone? Was that the little kid that peed his pants? Was that Fuller? Look what you did, you little jerk. Yeah, everybody loved the Home Alone, right? I'm gonna have to look that up after the video's over, because now I'm curious. Look at all this Fantastic Four. Lots of duplicates, lots of key issues. It's awesome, right? You'd think that I would have grabbed a handful and transitioned to another segment. Nope. Just lots of Fantastic Four. I mean, some of this stuff is super cool. Yeah, if you're a Fantastic Four fan at all, there's some really nice stuff in here. And what's crazy is the duplicates. I mean, that Silver Surfer book. I mean, I love Silver Surfer. Anything that I can grab with him on the cover, I try to do so. Now, saying that, I had a number 57, which is a classic Doom cover, and I let that one go. I let it go because I would rather have the gentleman have that hole filled than me just parasiting a Silver Surfer book off the top because I thought it was cool. A few random things here before we get to the next one. So Nick Fury, Avengers number 4. That's an awesome Steranko cover if you're a Steranko guy. Yeah. Spider-Man number 82. So classic Spider-Man. By the way, you'll see some more old Spider-Man. I haven't had old Spider-Man in a while. It's tough to get right now. Everybody's hanging on to it. So many people are buying it. So for me to actually have any or get any, it's tough. It's a fight, and it can be expensive. But that's if I even find it. And not a lot of people are letting it go. Classic Avengers. To me, my Avengers. Avengers Assemble, right? Avengers number 29 is where we're starting. There's a number 29, 30. I can kind of read these numbers. What is that? 32, 41. That's a Draco, I think. 42, 47. Yeah, great Magneto cover. I think that's the one where he finds out that Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are his kids. I could be very, very wrong. It's been a while since I've read that one, but I remember that cover for some kind of significance. I don't remember. 51, 56. That is a coverless 65. 77. Double sevens. What's that one? 79. In case it's hard to read. Yeah. Classic Avengers. All sub 100. Except for this one. No, that is that one. That's 94. 94! All sub 100 Avengers. Look at that. But bam! Sub 100 Avengers. Sub 100 Avengers. How about something Avengers adjacent? Avengers adjacent. How about Journey into Mystery 124? That's an early Hercules. Second appearance of Hercules, to be exact. That's what that little blue tab is. If you ever come into the store and you're going through back issues and you see these little blue or colored tabs on the top of the books, that means that's something special. You should look at it and see if that's something that you want, because most likely that's the only one that I have, and it's the only one that I'm going to get for a while. This one is a Thor 141. Cover fell off. It's on the back, because why? It's coverless, right? Go that route. 163, first cameo of him, which later turns into Warlock, FYI. Early Wrecker. There's another Wrecker. Going into Thor. So the fun thing about Thor, okay, just so you guys know, Thor started in Journey into Mystery, right? And then, what was it, 126, I believe? I think 125 was the last Journey into Mystery. 126, Journey into Mystery transitioned into Thor. And then it continued into the Mighty Thor. So that's if I'm right, 126 is the earliest Thor book that you can get. And so finding sub 100 Thors, we're going to have to dig into Journey into Mystery. Otherwise, finding stuff in the 200s, really, that's number 84, right? 85, if I can do my math. And then that's Thor. So that's still very Silver Agey, in that stuff. Now, speaking of transitioning into their own titles, Doctor Strange did the same thing. Okay? So Strange Tales started out kind of like a sci-fi epic kind of deal, and then we started getting actual Marvel heroes. I forget the first appearance of Doctor Strange. I think it was, 102? Pretty somewhere around there, right? Is the first Doctor Strange. So some of these that transition into, the number's right here. Sorry, I don't know what I was pointing at. 144, that's Doctor Strange number, 42, if my number's right. And then it jumps around. So, Doctor Strange wasn't in every issue past that point. But Strange Tales transitioned. See, Strange Tales, Doctor Strange. Eventually, they drop the Strange Tales and go straight into Doctor Strange. So it can be tough, if you don't know that type of thing, transitioning and looking for early titles of some of your favorite characters. Especially if you're trying to find, early appearances and stuff. So it's a thing. The more you know. Imagination. Let's see. These aren't new, but I pulled them out because, it's cool. Tales to Astonish. I had these, in the back there. So what is that one? That one's number 92. Tales of Suspense. So these are just some early Iron Mans, more or less, because he appeared in number 39. These are up in the 90s. So, again, just earlier appearances of... my book was out of order. Tales of Suspense, Tales to Astonish. Yeah. 86. Look at that. It even goes a little bit earlier, not 92. Again, so if you're looking for, Iron Man stuff, Iron Man number 1 is not the first appearance of Iron Man, nor is it really, an early appearance. Not a first appearance, not an early appearance. Iron Man number 1 is truly just the first solo story of Iron Man. So it is sought after. It is hard to find. But again, if you don't know that Tales of Suspense is where you need to look for early Iron Mans, then you're lost. Some of these Iron Mans here are actually pretty cheap. This is a 6.0, a number 70 for $10. So again, if you're looking for early Iron Mans, Tales of Suspense is where you really are going to spend money. But early Iron Mans, sub 100 Iron Man, not that pricey. Not that pricey. Granted, when he, pre-snap Iron Man, he was expensive. But now that Iron Man, quote unquote, may or may not be appearing moving forward, he's not as collectible as he used to be. Heat of the moment. Heat of the moment. The heat is on. Captain America 113. Captain America, again, great Silver Age books. A lot of classic stories in Captain America. Did you know Captain America was actually a Golden Age character, fighting Nazis and Hitler in World War II, or World War I. In a world war. Very hard to find. Crossed over with Golden Age Submariner, even. And some of those books are just truly impossible to find. That's... Yeah. I've got people all the time that are like, you got any Golden Age Captain America? I wish. Any Golden Age stuff that I find is either Disney or oddball titles of stuff. And while that's cool, doesn't pay the bills. It's not sought after. Not near as much anyway. And then you got a little sneak peek there. X-Men definitely heating up. X-Men 97 season 2 comes out in like 2 days. I cannot wait. I saw a little sneak peek this morning. It upset me at first, but then I was super excited. It gave me goosebumps. I am a diehard X-Men fan. If I could get claws put in my hands. Anyway, X-Men 37. X-Men stuff heating up. That is not X-Men. Those are Captain America. If you're looking for X-Men, I have very little X-Men pre-100. It's just, yeah. Lots of people coming in looking for it. Lots of people talking about it. It's tough. It's absolutely tough. Everybody wants X-Men right now. And you should. You should. Not because of the TV show, not because of their appearance in the MCU, because it's a great story. Very diversified, tons of different characters, tons of different backgrounds. I mean, every ethnicity is considered represented to some extent. I think Moonstar, there's a series that came out that was the first like Native American superhero that got their own story. So, you know, there's some things, you know, that can still happen within the series, but yeah, just so many different characters, so much different representation. You know, the good, the bad, the anti-heroes. It's cool. Past, present, future. It literally has everything inside of it. It's great. It's absolutely great. I might be a little biased. Who cares? I also like hot dogs. Deal with it. Daredevil, 14. Daredevil still going strong. Lots of people still looking for Daredevil stuff. You know, I've got a few sub 100 books here. You know, quite to my amazement, and truth be told, because Daredevil is just, it's a thing. You know, this is actually a really good copy too. Number 20. It's a crazy cover, but like if you just look at the composition, like how well balanced it is. I mean, granted, it's got woolly mammoths on it. Whatever. It's cool, man. Okay. So that's the short, or the long box. That's the short and the long of it. What big books? Let's move into big books. I'll show you this. This is another Spider-Man book I got, number 49. So that's kind of that's a nicer book. It's a 3.5, $40 on it. But that's a Spider-Man there. Moving through the silvers here. Fantastic 487. This is actually, I put a 7.0 on that, so that's actually kind of a high grade book. Here's 110 at a 6.5. By the way, if you ever find one that looks like it's blacklight cover or alternate cover, neon cover, bring it to me. Bring it to me. Fantastic Four Annual. This is actually number 1, even though you can see the pen on it there that says 10. This is number 1. Somebody decided to give Submariner glasses and a mustache. Spider-Man also has his eyes and mouth blacked out, and they wrote a 0 next to the 1. That confused me because I didn't catch it at first. I was looking for number 10. I was like, that is not number 10. This is number 1. So this is actually kind of a big boy book. This is the origin of Submariner. Unfortunately, the cover is detached, but the cover is there and in pretty good shape. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. Talking about Doctor Strange again. Strange Tales number 152. Strange Tales 155. How about 2 number 155s? Hail Hydra. Doctor Strange 158. This is the first appearance of the Living Tribunal. So just another cosmic entity. I think he showed up at the end of Loki, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. But I thought there was a little bit of a Living Tribunal bit at the end of Loki. It's been a minute since I've seen it, so correct me if I'm wrong. Strange Tales 163. Now, going back to like we were talking about Iron Man, where he appeared in Tales of Suspense, moved forward, then got Iron Man number 1. Well, this is Doctor Strange number 1. So after we stopped with the Strange Tales, and then it migrated into Doctor Strange at the end of Strange Tales, he then got his own ongoing series. Here is number 1. Doctor Strange number 1. Classic cover, classic book. Pretty hard to find. You don't see it very often, but that's pretty cool. And then transitioning away from Silver Age, I had another Spawn number 1 come in the door. So if you're looking for a Spawn number 1, I think I have 4 of them right now. Not saying, just saying. And then transitioning into modern talking and talks, modern talks. Absolute Batman. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. If you're paying attention to anything comic book related right now, Absolute Batman is probably at the top of that list. it's nuts. It's like printing money right now. They just announced a cartoon series, which caused the series to spike yet again. I personally thought that the bubble was nearing the pop because of all the, we were getting just flooded and inundated with variant covers, and the series in and of itself, the people weren't talking about it as much. I wouldn't say my sales dipped, but I definitely didn't have the fever that I had when Absolute Batman was coming in. I mean, there were a few days when I had lines at the door on Absolute Batman drop days, and it's just everybody's like, oh my God, kind of thing. And that was like when Poison Ivy was coming around. The Scarecrow didn't really see it. Last issue 21, definitely didn't see it. But Absolute Batman is stupid right now. In case you are one of those people that want to get all your hands on all the Absolute Batman on things, and I said all your hands because I'm imagining just Mecha Shiva. Here is All In #1. Technically the first appearance of Absolute Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman in here. This book is not as crazy as the other Absolute Batman stuff. Absolute Batman #1, people are hitting $300 on sales for a #1. That's ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous. I am not going to be one of those people. I'm going to keep it respectable because it shouldn't be that high for starters. But I want you guys to have the book, not spend all your money on it. Anyway, Absolute All In Special #1, first appearance of Absolute Batman. I still have several copies of the UAE, United Arab Emirates, Absolute Batman #1. Again, I think there was only 1,000 of these printed, maybe 1,200 of these printed. So there's not very many of them. It is the A cover. It is Arabic on the inside. You do read it backwards. It's all the things that you would expect it to be. But I have a few of these. So if you are wanting something collectible, something that is unique, this is your chance to have something. Message me. And then this came in over the weekend. Absolute Batman #1, Noir Edition. This is the black and white version that they printed after the #1. This was after the second print, I believe. This is kind of just a black and white edition that they did. Kind of hard to find, but it is creeping up just like all the other Absolute Batmans. So it is technically a first print. It's a first black and white print. So again, if you're looking for something to add to your collection, that's fun. There you go. Now, a little preview for next week. In addition to a Silver Age Marvel, I also got a Silver Age DC series or collection that came in. At least it's like late silver, early bronze, kind of that era. It's like early 70s. But just to kind of give you a sneak peek, there's a few big books that I pulled out right away. Again, took them to Knights Hall over the weekend. Action Comics 419. That's a Neil Adams cover. This is Lois Lane 106. Very sought after book. Very hard to find book. Very controversial book because they made Lois Lane go African American for an issue to experience the other side of the cultural movement, if you will. I'm just a man playing another man that's playing another man. Yeah, except it's Lois Lane playing a woman who's playing another woman, who then changes back to another woman. This is a big boy book, my friends. This is a very sought after, very hard to find book. Batman 251, Neil Adams cover. Been homaged a million times over. Considered to be one of the best covers ever for a Batman series. Hard to find in high grade. Hard to find at all, really. And then this one, this is even a bigger book. Batman 227, homage to Batman, I believe it was number 39. Just another, it's a Neil Adams cover. Very, very, very sought after book. Very expensive if you find it in high grade. But this is a lower grade copy, so it's more affordable, but it's still a little pricey. But it's a big book, my friends. So that brings us to the end of the video. I got to cut it off before we hit 30 minutes. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing what you see. If you have any questions, hit me up. I'll talk to you guys soon. Excelsior.